You know, I've always said that when you let people down or you don't deliver on your words, it piles up. In other words, people lose trust in you. And it doesn't have to take a single event. It could go back to something as simple as if you want your doctor, you can keep your doctor. And then you find out you can't. And then you find out that stimulus doesn't give you quite the oomph you thought it would. And then you see Iraq imploding. And then you see a veterans agency that's not delivering on what it said it would. And then you say that you're outraged about what's going on at the IRS and the targeting of conservatives and have no explanation for the sudden disappearance of so many emails. Bit by bit, you lose your soul, bit by bit. It's a matter of trust, and it could explain why across the board, the president, and indeed now much of Washington, is held in such low regard. How do you win that trust back? We got Pat Caddell, we got Jared Levy, we got Mattie Duppler. Mattie, how?
Neil, you know, it's hard to know how you win that trust back. And look at the president's numbers. They're down, down, down. They keep going down. And one of the things that I think is interesting about the Obama presidency, and hopefully history will bear this out, is that it's most damaging to the people who had the most faith in government to begin with. You know, as you mentioned, we've got an IRS that apparently loses 2 years of an employee's email. But at the same time, we have an NSA that has every single email an American has ever sent. So what the progressive president is showing us is that government is either incompetent or ignorant, but in his case, it's both.
Now, Pat Caddell, it'd be one thing if there were one such incident, but there are many such incidents. And then there's sort of a tone deafness to the response by the administration to all these incidents. What do you think?
Well, you know, we're dealing here with a culture. It's not just the administration. This is both. This has gone back for some years. You know, you saw it in the, in the Bush administration and share scandals. What we've had recently is unprecedented. But it is a political class attitude in Washington that encompasses liberals and conservatives, Democrats, Republicans, the media, which is an utter contempt for the American people, number one, and a belief that the currency of the realm is to lie. Everybody lies about everything all the time. I've just been doing some research in the last few months on this topic, and people overwhelmingly believe the government is out of control, that, as I said, the lying has reached unbelievable proportions, and their belief is, you know, 85% of Americans or more believe that the system is rigged against them, and they're right. This is a culture going on, and you win that trust back as long as your strategy is we can get away with lying to everybody about everything.
And you know, Jared, you've seen it yourself in the Wall Street community where even with the heady gains we've seen, individual participation is still at record lows. In other words, they're not convinced that this is legit or that this game isn't rigged. So it extends even to your purview, right?
It does. And you know, to the point, this is all about trust. And we came from a point, remember, when Obama took office, he was supposed to bring change, supposed to renew American faith in government and in our economy. And it's like every president should get a mulligan, maybe 2 or 3. But when you've got like 10 to 15 or 20, you really haven't completed anything. And in his case, it's even worse because we came from a place that was so bad. We came from one of the greatest recessions in history, and now we're supposed to be turning around. And when you have repetitive sort of issues like this, and you have his, I mean, I was looking at his executive orders, and they're scary, some of them. And when you just keep doing this over and over again, you lose faith in the public loses faith in you, and you lose faith in the public, and it's a lose-lose situation, rather, for everybody.
Well, not good for the time being. Guys, thank you. We're going to take a quick break here.